Implementing this one teaching from Atomic Habits has truly changed my life. Hey, what's up? What's going on? My name is Sabrina and welcome back to the channel. Here in the Better You community, we talk about all things self-growth and spirituality, and in today's video, we're gonna be talking about my Atomic Habits biggest takeaway. If you like what you hear today, don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up to help with the channel, subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified every time I post a new one. Share this with anyone you feel may want to hear it, and with that being said, let's get into it. I kept hearing about how good Atomic Habits was, and honestly, I usually steer towards a little more science and spiritual type books, but I decided to give this one a go because one of my friends gave it to me, and let me just tell you, this shit actually changed my life. And it was because it was getting into this part where it was talking basically about moving slower to get places faster. And I've heard that reference before and I didn't pay too much attention to it, but the way that it was explained in the book really stuck with me. And he gave this analogy, which is what really did things for me, and I'll share with you guys what it was. But he was talking about this ice cube, right, that was sitting in a room of like 24, 25 degrees, right? Sitting in this freezing weather, and the temperature gets bumped up to like 26 degrees. Still an ice cube, right? Temperature gets bumped up to 27 degrees, still an ice cube. 28, 29, 30, still an ice cube. 31, 32, 33. All of a sudden, the ice cube melts. You see the physical changes, and it wasn't that one shift that made the ice cube melt. It wasn't the 31, 32, 33 that made it melt, right? It was the 25, 26, 27. All of those little changes compounded made the ice cube melt. It was the little shifts after one another is what built up to create that physical change. So that analogy in reference to your life, what you are working towards, the goals that you have, the habits that you're wanting to create, it's not about trying to do everything at once, which is what a lot of people try to do. So in terms of taking this analogy to our everyday life, when it comes to going towards that goal, creating that habit, becoming the person that you want to become, it's not about doing everything at once, figuring out the perfect routine, and then like completely shifting into it in a couple days. It's all about doing the same small steps that will move you forward every day. That's it. Change doesn't have to be hard. It just has to keep moving. Creating new habits doesn't have to feel overwhelming, and it doesn't have to be like an overnight deal either. You just have to create one little shift at a time, to one little shift at a time, to one little shift at a time, and then you're there. And doing things this way is actually the most sustainable and productive way you can do it. I really think with hustle culture and social media and just with the way that society is right now, everyone wants things now. They want that instant gratification. They try to get everything done now. I want that relationship now. I want success now. I want to be perfect in my routines now. Like they want everything to be perfect right now. When that just leads to overwhelm, frustration, stress, anxiety, burnout, and failure. Because you're stressing out about doing everything at once, frustrating yourself, and ending up not being able to move forward because of it. When really we can actually get there faster a lot of times by just focusing on the smaller steps. So I want you to think of your biggest life goal right now. Now, what are the 1% of things that you need to do in order to move forward in that? What's the one step that you can just do today to move you forward? And then do that one step and then just go about your day. It's when you say, oh, but I also want to do this, and then I also want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and then I'll be happy with my progression. That's when you create this like overwhelm that you feel like you're never going to get there because you have so many things to do. It's really counterproductive. Like think of all the times that maybe you have done this or you have seen somebody else do this where they try to get everything done at once and they really like stress themselves out and overwhelm themselves, and then they end up being like, you know what, this is all just so stressful, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Or they just like burn out and just stop everything altogether. It's the turtle that actually wins the race. It's the turtle that actually ends up being faster. And the turtle is actually happier, more successful, and more sustainable. Step by step, you slowly embody. Step by step, your brain takes on this new identity of who you are. Step by step, you now create the life you would have only wished that you were living before. And so for me, when it came to like trying to go full-time in my business, before I was really like stressing myself out with these hella long to-do lists and overwhelming myself with things before I could even get them all done. I ended up working slower on the task at hand because I was so stressed out about all the other things that I like had to do, right? But when I learned this, I was like, okay, what tasks don't I need right now? What tasks can I cut out right now? Okay, cool. Now, how can I take what's left and like spread it out into like the smallest steps possible? How can I make this really damn easy on myself? And when I began to just focus on the small steps in front of me and just do things slowly each and every day, that's when I began to really give my mind and myself a break. Just taking the 1% at a time, just doing the small steps at a time. And I ended up creating the programs that I wanted to. I started to put out the consistent content like I wanted to. I made my first $10,000 in sales and I started signing multiple 4-figure paying clients, and I was like, wait, holy shit. I can do things at my own pace while creating more success than I was before, while having time to meditate, hang out with my friends, hang out with my family. Like, damn, I was doing it wrong the whole time when I was trying to act like the hare, trying to get it all done right now, right? Like the hare, the rabbit in the race, when really the turtle's the one who wins the race. And when I started acting like the turtle, I started to win the race. And this goes for starting bigger habits too. Like when I started to want to dance, like I dance a few times a week now, but when I started to want to dance, I was like, oh, this feels overwhelming. I feel like I have so many things in my schedule already. This is when I was like doing a lot of things at once. And I was like, you know what? Taking the teachings from the book, how can I just do this 1% at a time? And so I was like, okay, maybe like 30 minutes every 1 to 2 weeks. Cool. I can do that. And then when I started to do that, I was like, it started to extend into an hour. And then I was like, okay, an hour every week. I can do that. And then the hour every week easily turned in from there an hour 3 times a week. So now 3 times a week, typically, depending on the week, but usually I'll dance. And now I have this habit that I've been actually wanting to have this habit for quite some time now of dancing. Like I've been wanting to get into dancing for so long. And now I finally am. And I have like this dream habit. Like I feel like I'm living like my dream spunky little self, doing my little dance routines. All because I started to do things at this 1% at a time, at this 1 step at a time, just like inching forward into my goals. Because if I would have tried to start dancing 3 times a week, I would have fallen off that habit very quickly. And I would have been like, oh, can't do it, don't have the time. Like, would have just like thrown it on the back burner. But if you can make things like so simple for yourself at first, so easy for yourself, and then you get used to that, and then make it easy for like the next step, and then easy for the next step, like you just make things really easy for yourself, and you just step into this without falling back, without the overwhelm. And you get to create like your ideal life, your ideal reality, your ideal habits, all of that just through taking little actions. Small steps equals massive results. Small changes really move mountains. All right, so if you liked this video, if it helped you out in any way, I'd love to know what you liked about it in the comments. Please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified every time I post a new video. Share this with a friend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.